The last portion of this assignment is numbers 11 to 12 for the lesson videos. And the notes for this is solve equation by factoring. So it looks like we only have 0 on one side. We're going to have to deal with the left side over here. So what you want to do is we're going to have to apply some of the factoring strategies that we did on the previous homework. They have a common factor of a b. So I'm going to do a GCF of a b. And then you have your leftovers b plus 7. Okay. So I think last class we reviewed the factoring part like this, and then there's now an equals 0. Okay. What's going to happen is you're going to apply what's called zero product property, or ZPP. So what it is you're going to set these two products equal to 0. What I mean is b is equal to 0, or b plus 7 is equal to 0. So you're going to have two different answers. This one is already solved. So your first answer, it can be a 0. Your second answer, we're just going to solve really quick. B is equal to -7. So you're going to have two different answers. 0 or -7 is fine for the solutions for number 11. So if you plug in -7 here and here, it will go to 0. If you plug in 0 here and here, it will be a 0. Okay. Let's do now number 12. Sorry. Number 12, we're going to do some of the factoring from last review. Their a value is equal to 1 over here. So we got to find two numbers that multiply to 8. We got to find two numbers that multiply to 8 but add up to -9. 8 times 1, 8 and 1 will not add up to -9. But remember, you can have two positives or two negative numbers if this is a positive number. And I think this one will work because they add up to that -9 that we want. So on the left side, you have v minus 8, v minus 1. Remember, you're not done because you have that equals 0. This is an equation now. To solve, you're going to do ZPP again one more time. So your two equations, v minus 8 is equal to 0, v minus 1 is equal to 0. Then you're going to solve separately on both of them. Add 8 on both sides, add 1 on both sides. So your two solutions, v equals 8, v is equal to 1. So if you plug in 8 in these variables, it will come out to 0. If you plug in 1 in these variables, it will come out to 0. Okay. All right, for the finale, for the notes portion, and then you'll have enough for you guys to do the classwork homework on your own. Number 13. So this is a quadratic function, meaning that quadratic, we're dealing with parabolas. So we have squares. One of the strategies is you want to put everything on one side. Okay, so for quadratics or for parabolas, for quadratics, put all terms on one side. Let's go ahead and do that. +5 now is we're going to -5 on both sides. And then I'm also going to do it at the same time. We're going to subtract 4x squared on both sides, but I'm just making sure that I put that right below where that they have like terms on. So 7x squared minus 4x squared. Okay, so now this is 3x squared minus 5x minus 8 is equal to now a 0. So that's your goal for these parabolic quadratic functions, is you want to set it equal to 0. Then that way you can factor the left side. Your a value is not 1 over here. Can we take out a GCF? No, because this one's a 3, this one's a 5. They don't have any common factors. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this thing here. The only way to split a 3x squared is 3x times x. We now have to figure out what makes a -8. I mean, we have 2 times -4. -2 times 4 is fine as well. Sometimes 1 and -8, they work too as well, So don't be too surprised. Okay, we just got to figure out which pairing will go with which so that we can add a -5. Some of you guys can do this in your head. If you have to, again, write it out, go ahead and write it out. I think I'm going to give you the answer. I really want to say that, let's try this, 3x times 1 and x times -8. So let's try that if that works. If it doesn't work, I'm going to have to try another pair. 3x plus negative 8x. Yeah, this is the negative 5x that we want. Okay. Small reminder, the first pair that works goes on the outside. Okay. The second pair that works goes on the inside. Just make sure the x goes on the second parentheses, and then the negative goes here. Now on the last lesson, the last review, like this would have been your answer. You cannot stop here because you have an equals 0 now. You got to solve for x. You're still in factors. So now we're going to do ZPP one last time. ZPP, meaning your two equations are 3x minus 8 is equal to 0, x plus 1 is equal to 0. And you're going to solve for them both. We're going to add 8 on both sides and divide by 3 afterwards. 3x is equal to 8, divide by 3. X is equal to 8/3. Subtract 1, subtract 1. X equals negative 1. Hopefully that's correct. Let's just check it. Okay, 8/3 and negative. Sometimes the answer key could be wrong too as well. Okay, you have enough to do now the classwork homework. So start reviewing. Thank you.